How's that burp coming?
It's,
Getting there?
I don't know. It feels like it's halfway up, but it's just not coming out.
We stopped recording so Amanda could take a burp.
It's not coming out. So it could happen any time during the show, so look
working
out
out
for it.
for me.
Like a ticking time bomb.
I
Never know what's
burp in
going on.
every video.
It's episode 7. We're going to kick it off today. With
Yeah.
a couple of topics to talk about. But I am G.
Amanda.
Pauldo. And yeah, we're going to talk about being geeks as adults and how we got into being into, you know, the things we're into, like comics, gaming, cosplay.
The drawing, because you've been good at drawing for quite some time, so it's not a new thing for you. But being like, when people would ask you about drawing comics though, when you were drawing like normal pictures or something.
Nah,
like that?
never comics. They'd ask me to draw. When I was in high school, it was all graffiti.
Oh, was it all
yeah, we
graffiti
did
stuff?
graffiti. We just write words.
The only thing I ever did was like that S, the 3 lines.
Oh yeah, the.
There it is.
There it is. We need one of those shitty S's you were just talking about blowing up as she does that. Oh man, we're not that good with like editing. Just imagine that. No, just then.
The whole geeky scene has changed a fair bit though. Like, you look back like 10 years from now, how was it seen then than it is now?
Yeah, so 10 years ago.
From 10 years from now, so how old were you?
So in the future.
No, 10 years ago.
Back.
Oh, 10 years ago.
Yeah, back. Okay, so how old were you then?
Coming out of high school.
Yeah, so how was life for you guys? And
Yeah, that's the peak where I was majorly hiding it. So I was starting to have parties at my house, so the comic books were like going in shoe boxes right at the end of the bed. I would, pull down some of the artwork out of my walls and that, You don't want chicks to see that stuff. Wolverine up on your wall and you're just like, it's my homeboy right there.
I was a little bit different
Music
because
bands?
I left school in grade 11, so when I was 17 I was working full time. I was into whatever I was into.
Yeah, you're away from it all. You don't realise till after high school when you're away from going to school and seeing these people that you probably wouldn't even, associate with usually. It kind of goes away. You don't need to hide what you're into.
10 years ago for me, it was probably I was a lot younger than exiting high school for me.
You're going into high school.
Well, yeah,
Like 13.
close enough. Yeah, so yeah, I would have been like 13. I'm 23 now.
So you're still kind of like, I remember playing Game Boy at that age. So you're
Yeah,
still
so-
kind of allowed to get away with it.
Yeah, I was like, I put PlayStation 2 back then. I think it was after when it first came out. It would have been about 10 years ago. But growing up as a kid, that's all I did was play games, video games. And then I guess like through high school I did the same thing. And then once I kind of got like halfway through high school, that's when I kind of like, you get into that stage where you start working part-time jobs or you start doing,
socializing
with people, like parties.
So I've got 4 older brothers, and I spent my whole childhood watching them play, pretending I was playing because they gave me a remote, like a controller that wasn't plugged in. Yeah, but we actually had on the Super Nintendo, I think it was, and they had like the little cartridge you could put in there, and then you could put your Game Boy games in. You could be 2-player on that, but the second player actually coloured in the border around the person that was playing a game, so it had like a paint section.
Oh wow.
So they would give me the controller
this.
and that's what I would play. I would
The border.
colour in the border around the game that they were playing.
Once they finished the game, you're like, we clocked that, eh?
Well, smash the artwork
you wouldn't have
around
clocked
it.
it with a pretty
That's
border
how Paul
without
started
me.
out his artwork. That's how he started drawing. So, yeah.
I remember the Game Boy had the camera on it, and you could like draw on it and add like stickers over it. Now I used to do
and
heaps
it had
of
a little
sick artwork.
printer that could connect to it, and you could print out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had
and
all
they were
that.
like crappy little pixelated black and white pictures.
Yeah,
and
that
like you
was
couldn't
dope.
really see.
So, but look how far technology has
That's so
come.
good.
Like, looking at that now, like technology has come so far. We've got the VR now, virtual reality goggles.
Yeah.
My brother's got one of them. I played it. I look like an idiot to everyone else that was in the
on
room.
the outside,
but
you look like an idiot.
on the
but
inside,
on the inside,
you
it
can
looks
stand.
crazy.
You can turn around and see what's behind you.
Yeah.
Everything. I was playing some plane fighter game on it, and like
that would be the
Sounds
worst.
dangerous.
There's no,
That would be
there's
the
no
worst.
controller or anything to it, so you stand there and you just look at your target and it shoots at the target. And I was moving around the room, but you don't need to. But I was like, I want to go forward, so I was moving. I was one of those people trying to go left, I'd go like this.
There's like little viral videos that go around where like they get put on like a roller coaster and like they go up and right before it drops, then it starts swirling. That's what they see, and they lose.
start getting dizzy?
They lose their balance. Yeah,
Really?
they fall over and they freak out. Like if they're afraid of heights and stuff, and like they drop, and in the virtual reality they think they're falling.
What's the first moment you kind of knew that, or you kind of started to realize like, oh shit, it's kind of nerdy. I better not tell anyone about this.
Honestly, my whole life has been nerdy, I think, and that's just because of my
Totally.
older brothers. I still have in my house hundreds and hundreds of Pokemon cards because me
Yeah.
and my brother used to collect them,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
used to play Pokemon. We made up our own rules because I don't think we actually knew the proper rules.
I did that with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, so we just kind of
Didn't know the
I
rules?
think Jamie knew the rules, but he changed the rules a little bit
So he could
so
win.
that he would win. Because
course.
I just believe anything anyone says. I'm very gullible, so everything was always to everyone else's advantage. So, because he was my older brother and I was his younger sister, so I wanted to do everything he was doing all the time up until I
Yeah.
left school even. every time he had a friend over, I was like, oh, can I play too? Kind of thing. So, yeah, I always kind of looked up to my brother, and he always played games.
Well, it's kind of like, it's
absolutely
sports now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, they've got like
crazy
competitions and
millions.
tournaments.
Dota, League of Legends,
Like,
all
it's
massive.
all
World of
there.
Warcraft.
It's insane.
Crazy.
So it is kind of like grown to a sport. So like, with that said, gaming, like, understandably has kind of became cool. But it's more like comics that surprises me. Like, everyone knows who fucking Ant-Man is now. Go back 10 years ago, you tell someone Ant-Man, they're like, you made that up, for sure. You see it in shops now, on t-shirts and that. These shows that, comics I thought would never make into movies.
Yeah.
Are that widely spread now that people just picking up their shirts and going, oh, I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
But
they just see like a cool action scene on a shirt and like, I'll just grab it.
yeah, I remember when
That's how I am.
JJ started bringing in like the Transformers shirts, like probably like 12 years ago or so now. And that's when it really boomed, because the Transformers movies, as soon as Transformers came out, it was on merch and JJ's everywhere. And then they were like, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
There's a bit of money there. And they just started getting everything that was a movie in there.
Funny that you mentioned Transformers, because I remember watching the cartoon as a kid, and I thought it was
Yeah.
the dumbest idea to make it into a live action movie when they were doing it.
No, I was so amped for it, because I was one of the biggest, like, okay, growing up, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Transformers were my thing. Like, before I can remember, Mum was telling me, like, that's all you collected was that shit.
Yeah.
And then when as I got older, it was X-Men. I found the X-Men comics. I love the artwork, so I was like, I'm grabbing that. I'm taking it home. I'm going to draw everything that's in this friggin' book. That's where it all started, man. And I was like, I'm going to get the second one and the third one. Well, they weren't in order. I was like, number 200 and something, but I got the gist. But no, and that was at the same time the cartoon was coming out, so I think I put two and two together and was like,
Yeah.
I know this show. Blah,
Characters'
blah.
names and stuff like that.
So I think that cartoon is where it started from a lot of comic book readers, like the 90s era, our era.
Yeah.
Was that cartoon for sure? Did you ever watch it?
Was it? Yeah.
I used to only watch TV when I was younger.
Oh,
like
yeah,
if I wasn't trying to play games with my brothers, although they told me I would wreck the game if I played it.
You touch it, it blows up.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't allowed to play that anymore after I would just like, because I would open up a what are they called? Locker.
I was gonna say door.
No, you know the lockers, and you open them up, and then it's got a picture of a chick in a bikini with the big boobs.
Yeah.
And then like you kill a guy, and you can make it look like you're humping him.
So you got banned from the game for
So
that?
I
like a
wasn't allowed to
teabag?
play anymore because that's all I
This
was
is more
doing.
like a teabag thing. This is like where the Halo took off. Halo used to be like this shit. When you used to play Halo like at school, people used to bring in like the cracked version you put on a hard drive, and everyone could play it at school. So when you had like a
I
spare,
remember that when you burnt discs.
yeah, you could like
play
take it to school, and you could all play in the same room on a LAN thing. And yeah, that was like the whole thing of teabagging. That was the thing where you just crouch up and down on top of something. So it still happens now. Like it happens all the time on like professional gaming and stuff. I think that's the best thing about it now is like, I guess you can kind of see where it's come from and where it is now, and it's only getting better. And I think more and more people are going to open up to the idea of being a geek and exploring this kind of thing. Because I never used to be like, I never really went to Supernova or Comic-Con or, all those kind of stuff, PAX and stuff like that. I never did all those festival kind of stuff. That wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But like now, since I've like really taken on gaming and stuff, and I've come along with you guys to the merch stand and stuff like that, I've read all Paul's books, and when I was there, I was like checking out some of the artwork that was there as well. Like it's there's so much stuff that you could enjoy there. It's just, it's not just like being one specific like topic. These people love multiple things, and there's different aspects of things as well.
That's the good thing about all that, isn't it? Like you said, you're a gamer, so you didn't even really pay attention to that side of things. And now you kind of go into these things regularly, and you're having fun, and it's still all new to you. I would love, like I've been going these things 10 years. Yeah. Insane. You going about 10 years?
No.
now?
No.
Alright, baby, I'm an old.
Honestly, I was in.
First on the show. Sorry, I keep interrupting to say the word.
Stop saying it.
I don't know, Wookie these out.
No, I was introduced to conventions about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still fairly new to them as
wow.
well, I guess. I was introduced by my friend at the time to cosplay because she went to a convention. I think she went to 1 or 2 conventions before she got me to go with her to one. Because my birthday's on Halloween, obviously you guys know that.
Yeah.
So I've been making my own costumes and having Halloween parties every year since I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
So I have, I guess, been cosplaying my whole life, if that's what you want to call it.
Costume parties are cosplay, I guess.
Yeah.
Just out in the
but
public.
because I was making my own costumes every year.
That's true.
And there were characters that I loved. And, like, I remember one year I went as Cinderella and all that sort of stuff. So we made costumes to go to, I think it was Supernova was my first one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went there and I was like, holy shit, I didn't even know that this existed.
Yeah.
So I can do this
I had absolutely no idea.
outside of my birthday.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was like, oh my god, I can make costumes 3 times a year instead of just once.
Yes.
That was really awesome to be introduced to that, because I thought that it was just an American thing. I didn't know that Australia did anything like that.
Yeah, no, it surprised me because you're very geeky, so I thought this was the thing that you
See,
just
I didn't really think that I...
that's what I'm starting to discover right now. Like, I've known you a while, but I didn't realize that, like, you're just like, oh, so oblivious to how nerdy you are.
Yeah.
I spent my whole life being uncool and I didn't even know.
We all did.
Yeah. Well, I think like now, like I would not say to someone that you need to stop doing these things at a certain age. Like now, I'd say like if you enjoy it, it could be anything. Besides, it doesn't have to be geeky stuff. But if you enjoy it, go with it.
Go for it. Like this, we're in a day and age where you can't be really embarrassed about what you're into now. It's more about like if you fall over, that's still embarrassing. But like, you know, geeky stuff isn't embarrassing though.
Well, okay, so I played Barbies up until I was 14.
You can still do that if you really want to.
Go for it.
I had, you know, those big tarp bags that our mums used to make us take camping? Had one full of Barbies and clothes, and like I had hundreds and hundreds of Barbies. My mum actually told me I was too old to be playing Barbies, and she chucked all my Barbies out.
Oh no!
And I was so upset because I was this little 14-year-old in grade 9.
Typical parent
and
rage.
my mum threw out all my Barbies, and I was like, that's my only little bit of happiness I have left, and you chucked them out. Never told anyone at school I still played Barbies, but that's my secret shame.
Well, I used to play Street Sharks. Did you guys play those?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, they were so dope.
Were they like the badass sharks that used to walk on?
Yeah, man, they look like there's a bikie and one had roller skates, I think.
Yeah, I remember those.
When roller skates were cool in the 90s. I used to play with them all the way up to high school as well, and I remember my mum at one point going like, "You're a little bit old for these." It's like, don't ever chuck them out, and she never did. They're at home somewhere, hopefully.
You have a wall of like...
Oh, now my collection's good, but they're all
your collection's
in boxes.
Huge.
Everything's in boxes still. Back then I used to rip everything out. All the cages.
Were they
and put them back
bath time toys? Or just toys you played with?
No, these were everyday action figures that kicked ass.
Okay, I'm sorry, I had action figures for the bath.
There was like an action
No, they kicked like Power Ranger toys' asses. They kicked any other toys' ass.
Okay.
Especially rubber duckies.
I used to get a lot of toys from Vinnie's.
Yeah.
My nana. Yeah, my nana.
Any good ones?
I think my favourite toy...
That was a no.
No, but I think my favourite toy I ever got from her was this puppet monkey, and it was huge.
Sounds creepy.
A puppet monkey?
Sounds like a Goosebumps novel.
I named him Fred, and I used to make him talk and stuff.
That is creepy.
That is a bit weird.
I was a weird child.
Oh, we figured that out.
You just got to stick to what you enjoy. You want a game, you want to do comic books, you want to dress up. There's no real age. There's no real
Dress up.
cosplay. when you're that young, you don't call it cosplay, do you?
No.
You call it dressing up. You probably dress your brother up looking like a girl.
That's not cosplay.
He did that himself. He got into my makeup.
It's happened to probably every person's brother. If you have a sister, you probably be dressed up as a girl at some point in your life.
But cosplay. Have you guys ever had like that moment of like real embarrassment? You're like, I've been caught out. At
work, I mentioned that. Oh, we were talking about quizzes or something. This was when I was doing CPR training, and I was like, if it's about Harry Potter, I'll ace it. And they're just like, you like Harry Potter? And I was like, I love Harry Potter. And they just looked at me like, are you 5 years old? Kind of thing. And then it made me feel a bit embarrassed I even said that out loud, because I was like, I'm not embarrassed, because I love the shit out of Harry Potter.
I tell people like, oh yeah, I do comics at work, and they're like, oh, do you do tattoos? It's like, they don't give a shit about comics.
That's pretty much it. We're gonna probably
I'm gonna wrap it up. So it is pretty late, guys.
We're gonna wrap up episode 7, guys. Let us know what you guys think about the geeky thing.
Tell us your most embarrassing, like a time when you were really embarrassed about being a geek.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys.
Episode 7. Bye.
Consquad.
The shit out of that bird. It's gonna be like a dead silent thing, and it's just gonna be like when we go silent for a second.
Well, yeah,
there's like a moment where we go silent, we just go cut to that burb.
I'm gonna cut that burb, and I'm gonna make it look fucking awesome. It's gonna be explosions and stars and a unicorn jumping out.
Yeah, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
You guys think I'm not proud of that burp, but I totally am.
You are. I know you are.